Is the Philippines just about the election of the past 3 weeks or 4 weeks? Pronouncements of the presumptive president-elect that we have right now? Or is this something bigger that we can all share? And I think we have many wonderful examples here in this room. So I thought that maybe it is time that we tell this story, the success stories that we have of transformation, of good governance. It's quite frankly amazing when I was told last May by the outgoing Chief of Staff that in the latest survey of the SWS, I didn't know this, the AFP has more than 70% positive net trust rating. This is 2016. That's quite a transformation from many years ago when my dearest friend, Winnie Monsod, would look at the Philippine Army. I said, I don't trust you guys. You're human rights violators. And what it changed, Winnie has made of herself. She has become a great friend of the armed forces of the Philippines because she has seen the effort of transformation. Shouldn't we multiply this? Last October, we were able to present 12 wonderful, successful cases, externally audited, internationally vetted, of islands of good governance. We had the Central Bank of the Philippines, DTI, National Electrification Administration, the Philippine Heart Center, the AFP, Philippine Navy, Philippine Army, and we had 5 LGUs, 2 of which are given institutionalized status today. The city of Balanga, the city of Dipolog. We have representatives from the city of Mandaue here, Butuan, and Talisay in Negros Occidental. Small islands of transformation, real change. Shouldn't we begin telling this story? Now I've tried to tell this story through this book that we are launching tonight. The title is It Can Be Done. Islands of good governance. We are separate islands. But should we remain as those islands? And the answer is no. You've got to be a whole archipelago of good governance. And I must tell you, for example, last week, I was in an ASEAN meeting sponsored by OECD, talking about GOCCs, Chairman Duque, and looking around the entire region of East Asia. The one shining example of governance of state-owned enterprises is the Philippines. Nobody knows that. Many Filipinos don't know that. But the fact is that you have outstanding GOCCs that are transforming themselves. So the question that I would like to pose to you tonight is, yes, we tell these stories. 12 islands of good governance. Shouldn't we multiply? Shouldn't we connect these islands with one another so that we will have zones, areas, eventually a whole country of good governance? This may take time, but the fact is that we have role models right now. The only thing that you need to do is to go and look at Dipolog. Take out what Mayor Uy has done. Go and take a look at what Mayor Joet has done in the city of Balanga. You interview Admiral Pama, what he has done with the Philippine Navy, together with the other flags officers in command of the Philippine Navy, and many other outstanding Filipinos, outstanding Philippine institutions. So tonight, what I would propose is, instead of simply highlighting the islands of good governance, let's reach out. Let's beam out. Let's beacon out. And let's have as many local government units, as many national government agencies as possible become beacons, exemplars of good governance and transformation. And that's why we need many Filipinos. We can start with everybody who is here. Can you become an advocate of responsible citizens for good governance? Our attitude has been revolutionary from the public governance reform movement in the world, initiated by Norton and Kaplan of Harvard University. Theirs has been from the top down. Ours has always been from the bottom up, from one LGU to another, from one national government agency to another, reinforcing with each other, and then moving forward together to build a much better country, a much more progressive country, where in fact the benefits of transformation and change are actually felt by ordinary citizens. So tonight, I would like, of course, for us to issue this book, which highlights the story of 12 islands of good governance. Wonderful stories. I hope you can read them. But beyond that, a bigger issue and a bigger challenge that you all face is, can we band together and have this advocacy, good governance? We can do it. It can be done. We can change this country within our lifetime. And I say that I'm age 76. And I look at Dr. Clemente. She gives me a lot of hope. She's still transforming Capital Medical Center into one of the biggest and most progressive hospitals in Metro Manila. So I invite everybody, don't just buy my book. That's very small. Let's band together and be advocates for good governance at the individual level, family, local communities, NGAs, LGUs, GOCCs, our corporations, our civil society organizations. By the way, the first civil society organization in the Philippines that became institutionalized and became an island of good governance was the accounting profession. The only one thus far. But they have shown the way that with 120,000 practicing accountants, we can make it. We can make the Philippines a global power in the accounting profession. So I invite you, please, don't just buy the book. That's a very small thing. If possible, let's band together and be good Filipinos, be advocates of good governance, since we are all responsible citizens. Thank you very much for your patience.